This is Lenny Sanicola for WorldatWork TV. Today I am joined by Sue Holloway, Executive Compensation Practice Leader, and our topic for discussion is executive benefits and perquisites. Sue, what are executive benefits?
So executive benefits supplement employee benefits. So executives are offered the same benefits that are offered to the broad-based employee population, but in addition they may have supplemental benefits. Like employee benefits, they allow the company to attract and retain the leadership talent that's needed. As well, they provide the opportunity to offer a competitive total rewards package to executives. But there's a major difference. Employee benefit plans are tax qualified, meaning that they, in order to preserve the ability to offer the tax advantages, they have limitations imposed upon them. So they may limit the amount of salary that can be considered as well as paid out. So 401k plans have a limit on the amount of contributions that can be made. So those qualified plans, when you take a qualified plan with limitations and an executive's high level of income, there's an impact to the executive where they aren't able to participate fully in those plans. So companies often offer supplemental benefits that restore the limitations imposed by the qualified nature of those plans.
Now I know a deferred compensation is a type of non-qualified plan. Can you tell us a little bit more about what deferred compensation plans are?
So deferred compensation plans, as the name implies, allows an executive to defer their compensation into the future and defer their taxes as well. Very similar to a 401k plan, with the executives being able to defer beyond the limits imposed by the 401k plan. So basically, or essentially allowing them to restore what was lost due to the limitations.
Another type of non-qualified plan is a SERP, a Supplemental Executive Retirement Plan. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So as the name depicts, Supplemental Executive Retirement Plans, or SERPs, supplement employee benefit programs. So in addition to having the restorative features, they may have additional features, either identifying additional forms of compensation. So in addition to salary, maybe they recognize incentive or bonus payments or even restricted stock. So they may also have an enhanced formula. So for example, executive SERPs may recognize additional years of service or additional compensation. And this is particularly beneficial when companies are trying to attract mid-career executives and where they may be leaving an organization and leaving on the table some significant benefit programs and or compensation.
With the statutory limitations for qualified plans, and in order to achieve the objectives you mentioned for both deferred comp and SERP, I would imagine that plan design is different. So talk to me about how that plan design for those types of non-qualified plans would be different from the plan design for 401k plans and the plans for rank and file employees.
They're often very similar in design, but there are two major differences, and they're critical in order for these executive benefit programs to maintain their tax advantages as well as avoid ERISA requirements. So the first is that they must be limited. So in fact, they must discriminate. So they are limited to management employees or other highly compensated employees. The second requirement is that they are unfunded or they are unsecured promises to pay. So the company doesn't have the security that traditional pension benefit plans have. So should the company go bankrupt or insolvent, the executive would stand in line with other creditors to receive their promise of those benefits.
Let's switch gears and talk about executive perks. What are executive perquisites?
So executive perquisites are non-monetary forms of compensation. They typically are not tied to performance, but they allow an executive to work more efficiently and also convey status or recognition.
What are some examples?
So some examples would be use of company aircraft, company cars or car allowance, executive dining rooms, executive physicals.
There's been increased public scrutiny around these types of perquisites over the years. What's your take on that, and have you seen a decline in offering these because of the public scrutiny?
Certainly. There historically has been a lot of public scrutiny, some revelations of some very opulent perks, as well as concerns about excessive executive compensation and runaway executive compensation. And so there's been a lot of regulation and legislation, as well as disclosure required for executive perquisites.
I would imagine that, in many cases there's a business rationale for offering these. Can you talk to me about that rationale and how an organization may go about justifying perquisites? For example, let's take company aircraft. What would be a justification for offering executives access to, a private company jet?
In addition to the convenience that use of company aircraft provides, it also provides the ability for executives to work out while they're traveling, particularly on long international flights, as well in a private and secure environment.
As we close here, Sue, I'm interested in your take on the future. So gaze into your crystal ball, and can you share with us your thoughts on the future of executive benefits and perquisites?
There'll be continued scrutiny. If there are any organizations that still have hot button perquisites, I think we'll see them go away, as well as companies and compensation committees really taking a look at any enhancements to benefits or perquisites and making sure that they have a good legitimate business reason and working hard to convey in their communications to shareholders the rationale.
For WorldatWork TV, this is Lenny Sanicola.